Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Titanfall 2 on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, we're still going through the Titanfall 2 campaign. We will not be doing the Titanfall 2 multiplayer for the record, but because I am a very sore loser when it comes to FPS games that I'm not good at, and as I will show throughout the playthroughs, I am not actually all that good at Titanfall 2. Observe as I get almost killed by our second enemy fauna encounter.
Well, in the spirit of Call of Duty style FPS games, we do have regenerating health,
Which is very nice, and it's much
one
better
of my
than
favorite kinds of health.
Regenerating health is a thing that I end up missing quite a bit when I go back to older FPS games that I really enjoy, specifically Unreal. But I hold firm that Unreal 1 is still one of the best FPS experiences ever released on PCs. So there. This is actually a really good first-person experience for the campaign. It's a tad short, which is why I was able to make it into a playthrough in between StarCraft 2. But honestly, I'm okay with it being as short as it is because it's still enjoyable with how short it is. There's a lot of environmental storytelling going on throughout this part. We actually do have a stealth assassination attack that we can do. It's not usually worth doing. And this is one of the only like 2 levels in the game where we actually realistically get to do it. And even then, we get immediately found out when we do it because, of course, you know that's how perception and the peripheral vision works.
Stop, or I'll shoot.
Bink.
Yeah, you know it's only the first level of the game when all the fucking dudes have their backs turned to you.
Yeah.
You know, just like in multiplayer.
Behold, yeah, we used our active cloak. Cloak is honestly a skill that I don't ever remember using all that well, and I don't ever really remember having it. It is actually really good to get you into prime positions, but for most of normal mode, you don't really have to worry about positional awareness so much. Especially because like the latter half of the campaign is almost all Titan combat. Woo. I like that we get to see a grenade arc as well. That is very good for us. I am skill sick. You know, one day I will stop being sick, and then it will be the end of the Gerdat is sick chronicles.
Vitamin C.
Now, I have some vitamin C in the fridge actually.
Falling damage. Okay, lesson learned. But thumbs up. We have registered. You should not fall into pits.
Yeah.
Should not
somewhat
fall
bottomless
into
pits are not worth falling into. Boink!
He didn't see it coming.
But he had it coming because he is an enemy of ours.
Got your nose.
I do believe that our suit is going to spend the majority of this level attempting to calibrate to our gameplay style, whatever the fuck that actually means. I don't honestly know what that means, though. So, there isn't a rating system, thankfully. I mean, this is a game, given how short it is, that there honestly probably should have been a rating system. But the only rating system that we actually get to see is that on the obstacle course. There is KDR in the multiplayer, I assume. Again, I've not actually played the multiplayer, but then again, Titanfall 2's multiplayer was considered relatively good at the time, so it probably has a KDR. Unlike the newly released Battlefield 2042, which does not have KDR screens.
Oh, if you don't cut that out, I'm gonna go semi-auto on your ass. That's it. You've done it now. I'm going semi-auto.
The flatline is honestly not the weapon that I actually prefer running when it comes to the assault rifles. To be perfectly honest, I don't really like the assault rifles much in this game. The flatline is just particularly bad. I prefer. It's either the R201 or the Hemlock that I actually like running. We've seen both of those around, but you know, I was worried about ammo capacity for them, and now I'm totally out of ammo for my current weapon. This is the DMR. This is a semi-automatic sniper rifle. I am terrible with it, as it is a sniper rifle, as you can see here. It is honestly relatively powerful if you are good with sniper rifles, but I am not.
Man, now I know why Radio Shack's going out of business. This has got to be the most dangerous fetch the battery errand I've ever seen.
Yeah. Robots.
That's it. Alright, alright. Next time I need double A's, I'm just gonna go to Stop and Shop. This is ridiculous.
Hey, the fauna are coming in to help us. Haha.
Huh, that's a game lesson. You should exploit opportunities when the fauna can actually help you get rid of enemies.
Yeah, mind you, then you usually have to take down the fauna yourself.
So are there gonna be, like, giant dinosaurs?
No, as a point of order, this is pretty much the only level we'll actually be able to use the fauna to our advantage.
And they're all velociraptors. Gotcha.
Well, they're all wolves.
Scaly wolves.
I wouldn't say scaly. I would say padded.
Well, they look reptilian though.
I mean, their headdress, I suppose, looks a tad reptilian, but they're very clearly still mammalian. I mean, they're quadrupedal. They've got the canine mannerisms going on. They're pack hunters. And boink. To be perfectly honest, my preferred weapon for most of the game is gonna be the shotguns, because we're usually at mid to close range combat engagements. So the shotguns in the game are really, really good. As we attempt to scavenge this ship. One Titan battery. We're also going a little bit of environmental storytelling with the... I forget what the faction is actually called. It's not the IMC. Yeah, because the IMC is the ones we're actually fighting.
The IFC.
It's also not the UAC that we're working for, because the UAC is from Doom.
Well, the UFC can gain ground here. So the problem is we've seen a lot of open areas that, well, you're going to have line of sight on your opponent most of the time before you can get in a melee range, so you probably won't be trying to sweep kick them.
Right.
Because you tell me that's a wolf.
Yep, that's a wolf.
It looks like a scaly porcupine.
But it doesn't actually have the quills that can fire. And a majority of alien porcupine variants would actually have scales that would actually have spines that they can fire. Yay!
Insufficient power.
We're coming, BT. We got a battery for you.
Huh. If only human bodies could just fall to the ground and say, power low, insufficient power, need brain, skull fragments,
Power at 2/3.
cardiac tissue,
Ocular system
repairs required.
Adjusting focus. Are you all right, pilot?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ, we have dialogue options.
We have dialogue options, but again, they're here mostly for flavor. They are not important. I like that we have options, though. They're cool options.
Yeah, for replay value, but the campaign is really short.
It is really short.
You see, the games put in alternate dialogue trees for lengthy campaigns, so you will forget what your previous outcomes were. To put some distance between you and your choices.
There we go. Another power source we can go get. Don't worry, BT. We'll rescue you.
Until I am mobile, I will assist you through your helmet radio when possible.
Thank you, BT. BT really is the hero of the campaign, though. He is such a nice fella.
To all militia personnel, the IMC will grant safe passage back to the Angel City Penitentiary.
Yeah, that's right. We're a member of the Frontier Militia. That's what's going on.
Pilot, I advise against turning yourself over to the IMC. Voice pattern analysis indicates they are lying.
Of course they're lying. They're the IMC.
Don't worry, BT. I'm not going anywhere.
Understood.
Jesus Christ. I'm used to standing still when I have to make dialogue choices. Now this game will just let you make them on the fly.
Yep. To be perfectly honest, the gameplay feels they want you to experience for a majority of the game is constant movement with combat with combat supplementing your positional choices. Thing is, since the latter half of the campaign is mostly Titan combat, we don't really have that going for us for the most part. The multiplayer, very specifically, is all about using your environment to your advantage whilst engaging in combat. Like wall running shots, sliding shots, all the different types of mobility options that you have don't actually inhibit your combat prowess that much. My second jump didn't activate.
Captain Lastimosa activated me 973 days ago.
He was an excellent pilot.
There we go. Whoosh. Wall running is significantly faster than normal running, which is why they don't actually give you all that many walls to run on through this segment. Boink!
Alert! Alert! Watch your asses, gentlemen. There is a dude around. Hey, did you hear that? Oh! What was that noise? Oh! I thought I heard somebody go down over here. Oh!
Unfortunately, we're not all that skilled when it comes to engaging with stealth. I really wish I was better at the stealth combat, because this section right here really does attempt to reward you for stealth combat. I'm just not good at it. Yeah, you see, the sniper just is not good in medium to close range, like at all. Its bullet spread is way fucking large, and with its bullet spread being so large, it's just, you need to have a decent nest in order for the snipers in this game to actually be viable. No, that's a wall. Stop it! No walls. Hide.
Regenerate health.
Yep.
Health regenerated.
Thankfully, our health regen is significantly faster than it would be in either Halo or Call of Duty, at least on normal mode. And the big issue that we have to deal with is the fact that since we didn't actually engage this as this segment as a stealth portion, we now have to deal with significantly more enemies coming in on our position than we would normally have to. Specifically the drones. The drones that are flying around are significantly more difficult for me to deal with than the humanoid enemy combatants.
You know, that's a sensation that occurs to me a lot in life, is that, like, if you take the number of events, like, you know, let's say taking a bullet is an event. You take the number of events and you spread it out over time, it's not so bad. But when you take all those events and cram them into a small period of time, then it causes problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true for other things, too. Throughput. The maximum number of things that can happen at once. Your computer's capacity.
Thankfully, we now have access to the Spitfire, which is one of the better assault rifle class weapons in the game. It's not the best one. Personally, my favorite of the assault rifles is actually the energy weapon one, but I forget which one that is called, because it's been like 2 months since I played Titanfall. We are actually catching up to where my recording sessions were. It's just that yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 months since I played Titanfall 2 for the channel.
Grenade.
So what is new in the world of Cloud as we attempt to go through this combat section again?
I suck at Fortnite. And chess, apparently.
I am worse at both of those things, though, so there.
That, like, you know that feeling when you're on a losing streak. Let's take the 2021 Detroit Lions, for example. Like, you gotta be like pretty well in control and sturdy on your feet lose 10 games in a row, you come back, and now you're on a 2-game winning streak. Like, bravo. And I know that right now, that's me. I have lost game after game after game to the point that I feel like gameship in general is breaking down for me because a game is defined as a thing that you can either win or lose. That losing is not an assumption you should make going into a game because then it's not a game. You should always count on a chance of you winning. I will get that win someday. Only someday, though. If I try really hard and persevere, then eventually I'll get that W, and then I'm going to take all those losses, bake a cake with it, and eat it. It's going to be delicious.
Will it have spinach in it, Mr. Cloud?
Yeah, I've never heard of a cake that has spinach. Where the fuck have you been going for your bakeries?
Well, I am relatively aware of spinach puffs from Emperor's New Groove, and
Spinach puffs.
I assume that those are technically a pastry, aren't they?
I mean, it's pastry-like. I mean, because if only because of the flaky, crusty bun that they use. You know, the one that falls to pieces in little layers, and then you can like peel it apart. Like it's basically like a lasagna made of dough. Yeah, those are nice with cheese. Oh, gotta have cheese.
And now we slide down.
You know, this game also is a good example so far because we have died more than once, but that's okay.
Yep.
Because it's still a game. We can win, but we have to try again.
Alright, so now that we have successfully done the sliding segment, we can go over and do yet more parkour segments, because that majority of the game really does focus on the combination of using parkour and combat elements together in order to have a very kinetic feeling style of combat. But since we have the second battery that we need for BT, we can go over here, take down the aerial transport before it throws more dudes at us, and then take down the dudes that are already here. Have to secure the area first.
You should get a trophy for that.
Well, the thing is, there's multiple transports, so we only took down the one, and you know, there's more than one.
Those drones are IMC scouts.
This is me still being terrible with the sniper. I wish I was better with the sniper, to be perfectly honest, because the sniper is honestly a really good weapon. It's just I'm terrible with the damn thing. Yes, they are.
Pilot, we must establish a
But where do the batteries go?
That's one complaint about the Titan designs that I have to issue. These battery packs being, you know, just underneath the arms, feel like they would be extremely vulnerable to enemy gunfire, especially because we're not entirely sure what substance and/or energetic reaction they're using to power the Titans. If these batteries get fractured, what happens? You know.
Correct, that the Titan loses power and then it can't function, which is the whole point of having a Titan, is that it can move with electricity. I think that they definitely have to strike a balance between just battlefield chaos. That the batteries have to be easy to insert so you can do it quickly. And I think that the little handle that you use to screw it in is armored enough to withstand enemy gunfire.
Small arms fire specifically.
Of course. Small arms fire, yeah. We don't expect the Titan to survive a fucking nuke, but we do expect it to resist at least small arms fire, so that while you're either putting the battery in or during combat, that not only is the battery inserted quickly, but it's relatively well protected.
So now we can just show off the Vanguard ability, specifically the magnetic shield, which allows us to redirect enemy small arm fire and large arm fire. Actually, you can get rockets with the thing, really nice. And then we also get the spread rockets, which allows us to lock onto multiple targets and fire smaller rockets towards them. And honestly, the spread rockets are fucking amazing. I love the spread rockets on the Vanguard class. My only problem with the Vanguard class, to be perfectly honest, is its abilities have slightly longer cooldowns than I would like. But that comes with the benefit of the fact that the Vanguard class specifically, and a majority of the Titans in the game, don't suffer from ammo problems. This is a great boon for me because I don't actually have the greatest accuracy of players of FPS games.
Titan spotted.
Yep, as Cooper
For some
mentioned,
reason
just gotta kill a few bad guys.
I had the image in my head of a bowling ball strike throwing robot that basically just swings a ball around on a swivel and just, it doesn't even hit the floor. It just crashes into the pins like a fucking cannonball. And I thought that could be like if a cannonball type projectile was thrown at the robot, that it could catch the cannonball, swing it around using its own kinetic energy and momentum, and then use centrifugal force in order to turn it around and fire it back at the source.
In theory, it could do that, but it would have to require extremely precise programming in order to successfully accomplish that. But in the next episode, we'll continue on with the Titanfall 2's campaign as we move into Level 2. Be safe, everybody.